Dave, when you walked in at 47 for 3, there was a mountain to climb. How did you navigate those first few overs until you got comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a lot to get. We needed 240, so yeah, I think it was just about trying to bat as clearly as we could with Quinny, just try and form some sort of partnership and kind of see where the game unfolds. Later on in the game, if we had to go, but we kind of took our time and a little bit. Yeah, I think the partnership at that stage was probably a little bit more important, which we did, and yeah, we got pretty close at the end. So it was a little bit disappointing to get the loss.
Yeah, where do you think the game was lost?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't bat well the previous game. I think we didn't start too well this game, but we managed to get a really good partnership and put on a competitive game at the end of it. But if we have to be harsh on ourselves, with our bowling department, they were really good the previous game, extremely good. And tonight they were just slightly off in a few areas, but if we can just combine those two with the batting and bowling, I think we've got a formidable team that we've been building over the last year and a half. So it's just trying to, align the bowlers and batters at the same game. But saying that, I mean, there was over 400 runs on the game. So I don't want to be too harsh with the bowlers, but I think they were a little bit of lack of execution at times. But I mean, a few areas that we can work on, but it is still leading up to the World Cup, so there's still time.
And how do you feel about the balance of the batting?
Yeah, I think we've built up a really good squad over the last year and a half, and we get on really well with each other. We've linked in nicely, got great partnerships. We've won a lot of series in the last year, and to have lost the series tonight was obviously very disappointing. But like I said, I think in the past we've really competed well, and tonight I think we at least can walk away with our heads held high. But it still is disappointing losing the series. So I think it's just about competing, staying in the game at all times.
And how important is it to get the bad games out of the way into the World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories in the past with one being Australia not doing too well before the World Cup, and in the World Cup they end up winning. So I don't think it's too much to worry about. Like I said, there's a few areas that we can work on, and I think that will always be the case. Like I said, if we're competing in every ball and every game and giving ourselves the best chance to win, that's all we can really ask for. So, like I said, we've built a really good squad over the last 18 months, and we're feeling really confident with a lot of our areas.
One last one for me, and then we'll open to the floor. From a personal point of view, just tell us a little bit more about being the highest run scorer in T20 cricket for South Africa.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, to be honest, but I have played the most games in T20, so yeah, it's a privilege, to be honest. Never thought I'd be there. Always kind of striving for personal goals at certain stages, and to have knocked that one over tonight, I really feel quite honoured.
Hi David. David, what did you think of India's batting approach that template, especially while batting first, has been up for debate in the recent past? Did you think that they were looking for that above par total, and also how challenging is it for a team batting first to know what's different every ball?
Yeah, if I understand your question correctly, I think with them batting first, they got off to a flyer. It was a good wicket, and they just kind of kept the momentum throughout the innings all the way through. So yeah, I mean it is really like I said, an area that we just need to when we see them going, we need to try and adapt and change our plans and try something different. But credit to them, they batted extremely well. Like I said, all the way through. So It is sometimes challenging to know what is a good score, but I think it's just about assessing the wicket as quick as possible, and they did that tonight. They batted really well.
You should.
Yeah. So, Bobby,
No, the gentleman in blue shirt.
hi. David, award on Surya Kumar Yadav's innings, do you think was it a kind of a turning point of the match? And secondly, we saw your bowlers bowling a lot of full tosses. Was there a considerable amount of ping that created problems for the seamers to hold the ball?
Yeah, Surya is batting extremely well. He's hitting it really nicely, and to give a top-class player like that, a couple freebies is like I said, it comes down to a little bit of execution, poor execution at stages. I mean, we're all human, but we do need to be a little bit more harder on ourselves and just tighten up on a few areas. But to get a score of 240 with the innings that he scored, you do need an injection at some stage. I mean, they were going at 10s or all the way through, and then he came in and just absolutely annihilated us. So I think it was a really good injection from the India's perspective, but something that we can learn from, in the upcoming game. And we're very aware of that. And he's a class player, so we need to be on our best.
David, congrats on a great knock. But from a team's perspective, the chase didn't really get going at all in the chase. Bowman started with a maiden in the first over, and then Punditikov sort of took his time to get going. When you are chasing a huge total like 240, you think there's only one approach, just go all over the attack. So can you just elaborate on what was going on with the batting performance?
Yeah, I think, we found ourselves 3 down for 40 or 50, and the nature of the game is you always got to adapt. You always got to try and outplay the other team, and I think the partnership that Quinny and I put on was exactly what we're trying to do. Try and rebuild at some stage, but knowing that we still need to go at 13 or 14 and over. So it was kind of challenging, but we just thought let's just bat and play the ball in its merit, and obviously take on risks a little bit more than normal, and it came off. But to be 3 down for not much, chasing 240 is always a difficult mountain to climb, and that does happen in T20 cricket. I mean, they played really well, and then they bowled up well up front. It kind of you're always wanting to get off to a good start in the power play to give yourself the best chance, and be on the front foot. But there are other ways to do it. We caught up in the back end from the last 10 overs, and yeah, I suppose there's different ways to skin a cat, but at the end of the day, we're 16 runs short, and you could say it's up front, you could say it's the bowlers, whatever it is, but like I said, we've got to try and find a way to compete all the way through and be competitive.
Last question.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to you for your terrific performance today.
Thank you.
Most closely you lose the toss, you lose the match. But what about you feel about the atmosphere in Guwahati? This is you become the first cricketer to make 100 in Guwahati. You become the first cricketer to make 100 in T20 match in Barsapara, this particular stadium. So how do you find this atmosphere? How do you find this crowd? And how do you feel like this? About your feelings for today's match.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I mean, to score international 100 anywhere is a really nice feeling. To do it here, it's a really loud crowd. The stadium goes straight up and feels like right on top of you. So there's a lot of noise out there, and to try and with the batter, your partner, you just need to keep eye contact, and you can't really hear each other. So it's more about the physical presence and trying to impose yourself that way. But yeah, I mean, it's always a nice feeling, and it's great to score 100 here. I can tick that box off. So very chuffed.
Yeah, power cut was there, some kind of 10 minutes for the power cut was there in the stadium. So did it give you any kind of difficulties, or you can establish it?
Sorry, please goodbye.
Yeah, it's that's out of our control, and it kind of just gave us a bit of time to kind of just process what actually happened in the power play, the first couple of overs, and just give us a little bit of time to chat about it and think about the way forward. And then there was the issue with the snake as well. So I mean, there was a lot going on today, but yeah, I mean, it did give us a little bit of time just to breathe and just to think about what we needed to do. Sorry, just say that again.
Indian team, your team also played very well today.
Yep.
But do you think at any point Indian team played in their homeland, that's why you did not win today?
I think it's just a lot of home advantage.
Okay, yeah. No, thank you. I mean, I think we played really well to chase, to get 16 runs short of 240. You know, it was always a good effort. It was a great game in the end of it, to be honest. So I think, yeah, I mean, it is tough coming here as an opposition to, you know, to play in Indian conditions with the crowd behind India the way they are. It's very loud, but you know, you can use that to your advantage as well, and just enjoy the atmosphere. You know, you don't get this kind of atmosphere anywhere in the world, and it's really cool to come out and play in India with the fans being so passionate and just love cricket. So it's really, you know, it's a privilege to be out there and just kind of use that to your advantage.